I just thought of something. I was watching some more videos from a couple of groups that I follow, and they were talking about, well, the number of videos were showing some of the most recent abuses by police. And the thought occurred to me, how critical a certain understanding I have about traffic law and regulations, and how your constitutional right to be able to go to and from uninterrupted, without tortious interference by police. And I have to word it in that way because that is the same language that has the power to enforce that reality. And let me show you why that's so important. And this is what occurred to me. And I'm like, no fucking wonder they don't want people to wake up. Well, look, if what I'm telling you about the traffic law and traffic regulation is correct, and that there is a different burden of proof placed upon your personhood while you're traveling actually, I don't even want to use the word travel. When you're operating a motor vehicle, and I'm using definitions within the state, the way the state has defined them, not as you think of them as Webster's dictionary understanding. They're using the same words but applying different definitions to those very same words. And unless you understand those definitions that they're using, you can't really understand what they're saying to you. And and I want you to understand that they use that as a means to create a certain perception, and that perception is that there is some duty placed upon you when you are traveling from to and fro as part of your life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And notice that your constitutional protections, they're not rights. You already have them. The government isn't granting you shit. They're not the grantor of rights. Fuck them. They don't have the power to do that. That's an inalienable right. You were born with that ability, okay? Their duty is to defend and protect what you were born with, those rights, intrinsic rights. As a matter of being born into this world, you carried with you certain rights. And the duty of government is to defend those and protect those, not grant them. So I want to establish that understanding. But back to commercial application of the Department of Motor Vehicle and using those definitions, when you get into it, you realize that they're trying to create a duty upon you in your private capacity, not in your commercial capacity. See, a driver's license is a commercial instrument. So when you're actually using it for the purpose of making a living or performing some duty and charging a fee, then you're engaged in commerce, and that particular motor vehicle is registered with the state because it's using the state's highways and byways to engage in this activity called commerce. And their regulatory agencies are set aside to regulate that particular activity, and that activity is a regulated activity because you're using those roads and you're tearing them up, and they're part of everyone's ownership. So because of that, when you're engaged in this thing called commerce, making a living from this and charging a fee for it, well, then you're entering into a unilateral contract or agreement with the state that you will abide by these rules and regulations that they set forth while you are engaging in that commercial activity. That is what you were agreeing to. Now, when you're going to grandmother's house, it has no authority over your behavior because you're not engaged in that commercial activity. Therefore, the license is in a state of trust, basically. And it is only engaged in those time periods that you're using it as a commercial, in the commercial capacity. If you're not engaged in the commercial activity, then it doesn't have any authority. It's just a fact, okay? So, you going to grandmother's house using what they call a motor vehicle, I call that my truck or my car, or I don't want to even use the same definition that they use, because then they can make certain presumptions and try to enforce those presumptions and say that it's part of that unilateral contract and that or unilateral agreement, and they're full of shit. Fuck them, okay? That's a lie. So, understand how much power that gives government and authority, because the burden of proof is you're guilty until proven innocent under that commercial instrument. Under your constitutional protections, you're presumed innocent until proven otherwise. And then there is a process called due process that must be followed. Or everything that they've done from the beginning, ab initio, is gone. It's garbage. Throw it out. So the duties are quite different. And my duty to agree to certain things only apply when there's a commercial activity going on. If there isn't one, well, then I have no duty there. I'm not bound by that agreement. So, and I'm not going to exchange my constitutional protections for a stacked fucking deck. Fuck that, okay? But look at how much power that they're able to gain from the public by not making that distinction known and commonly understood. Think of the billions of dollars that they would lose. Think of the intrusion upon your personal life that they're allowed to stick their nose into, because they're making the presumption that when you're driving down to grandmother's house that you're actually engaged in a commercial activity, and therefore you're subject to the requirements of that driver's license. Well, that's fucking bullshit. You're not driving down the road to grandmother's house guilty until proven innocent, are you? No, you're leaving to go to grandmother's house with the presumption that you're innocent until proven guilty. That's why you guys are so mind-fucked over this whole thing. But look at how much power that they're able to reign and rule over you, because you don't understand this. And they're going to make it almost impossible for you alone to enforce this. But you know what? Videos like this, just destroy that shit, okay? And that's why I do them. Because I share it with a lot of people, and a lot of friends of mine understand the logic and the just plain rationale. Go do the homework and check out these facts. And don't go ask the fox if he's stealing chickens, because he's going to tell you no. Fuck. But look at how much power and authority that they have over people by operating under the color of law and legitimacy. Now, what you don't know is that the judges in the cities and the municipalities and the state, and they all collude into this activity. They conspire together to extort you into gifting your money to them under the pretense that you were actually leaving your house to go to grandmother's house under the presumption that you were guilty until proven innocent. You see how fucking absurd that is? And this is what most people are so poorly understood. They don't understand the concepts behind it. They don't understand the power of, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and what it takes for any government institution to interfere with your liberty. My ability to walk over there and touch that pole and come back. If they try to stop me in any way, there's a process that they have to go through in order to do that. There are certain presumptions that have to be made clear. For example, if I'm stealing something from the grocery store, well, obviously I'm engaged in a criminal act, then they can do that. And that's legit, right? But to accuse me of stealing when I'm not, and then to bring me before a court and pretend like you guys are such fucking model characters of and pillars of society, when you're pulling an extortion game like this and you all profit and benefit from it. Yeah, administrative law judges. They're basically become administrative law judges at that time. And even look in the state constitution in the state attorney general's handbook, and it'll show you that there can be numerous conflicts of interest, and there's no conflict for them, see? Because they know that you don't understand the trick fuck that's exerted upon you. They know that you don't understand why they're looking at you like a fucking deer caught in the headlights. They know when you leave the house, you don't know that you're presumed guilty until proven innocent by the state and by the municipalities at every point. And they're going to make the presumption that you're engaged in a commercial activity. And even if they don't make that, they're just going to say that you gifted the money to them, and they are under no obligation to tell you not to gift them money. You see what trick fucks and mind fucks these bastards pull on you to gain power and control over your lives, and then they want to pretend like they have the moral high ground? Fuck, they don't have the moral high ground. They're moral degenerates. All you have to do is look at our society today and look at the decline in morality and morals and values. Look at what police are doing to individual citizens. With their hands up, they're fucking shooting them in the middle of the street. You see what kind of power and control that trick fuck really gives them access to? And then the chilling effect by murdering people. Hey, folks, that's real. Okay? This is the real world that I live in, and these are the real mind fucks that go on in this society, the land of the brave and the home of the brave and the land of the free, my ass. So, anyway, it's pretty evident to me the scam that's going on, and that's why I do these videos. And it helps clarify it for me in my own mind. I'm like, wow, are they really that fucking fucked up that they pull this shit? Those motherfuckers. See, everybody knows they're getting fucked, but they just don't know how they're not, how they're being fucked. So they can say, hey, stop that. And here's why. Get the fuck back, or I'm going to slam you. Rather than being, subservient to the servant. Fuck that. And you're not trying to be master and lord over anyone other than yourself. And when they try to extort you, you're going to say, no, back the fuck up, dude. And if you want to try to push that on me, well then, I'm going to object in a certain manner, but hey, if it goes beyond that, well then I have a duty to defend myself. And I want you to know why I'm defending myself in circumstances like this. So unless you see me actively engaged in something, you don't have the power to interrupt my liberty. So keep that in mind, assholes.